Hi guys, Dazzie's back with another episode on my comic book hunting adventures videos. This time it is episode 62 and today I am at the West Midlands Comic Con in Birmingham. I am at the NEC. I've been here since 9 AM. Now I came down here as a bit of a gift to my son who's just completed his GCSE exams. We saw the guest list and we saw that some of the Lost guests were going to be here. You remember the show Lost? So we headed down. Now originally Desmond from the show was meant to be here, and Sawyer and Michael, well, they all cancelled at the last moment. But my son and me have just had a photo with Evangelina Lilly, who played Kate in the show. So that was pretty cool. Very expensive, but a nice gift all the same. Look, there's a queue for Doctor Who there. There's quite a few decent guests here, guys. But let me just say that for comic wise, this is the worst Comic Con I have ever been to, which is a shame. The books are really overpriced and they have been picked clean. There are just 3 vendors selling comic books, and I have bought a grand total of 0 books. But like I say, it's not all about me today, it's about my son, and we've actually come down and met up with my daughter and her boyfriend as well. So it's not all bad. But you know me, I like to hunt, I like to dig. There are no dollar boxes. Oh my days, no. There are books here that I would pay about £2 for maximum, going for double figures. Yep. Any old random Superman book, probably about £8. And I have tried my best to find something to buy. Trust me. I've just been through all 3 comic vendors. Yes, there's war books. You know, for instance, one vendor has My Greatest Adventure 80. We all know that book, the first appearance of Doom Patrol. I own that. It's on the wall for 400. Yeah, it's probably worth that, I would say. But, you know, like I say, decent books here, but the prices are mind-blowing. And I know and I understand that sellers have to make a profit because the tables are so damn expensive. But here is one of the stores, World of Superheroes. And I have been through every one of these boxes, guys. Every single one with a fine tooth comb. The back boxes too. There's a nice selection of war books. And they're in nice grades, but for the average Joe who likes to look for dollar boxes, sadly, nada. Now we have white dots and blue dots and red dots and yellow dots and green dots. But like I say, the keys have been picked clean. That is one vendor. The other vendor is called Finally Comics, Toys and Collectibles. There's a great selection here, guys, if you're into your slabs. You know I love my slabs. And the vendors are friendly. But I like dollar boxes. And I've been through all these boxes. And just can't find, you know, the books I do like. They're overpriced slightly or damaged and not the grade that I want. So, you know, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and go home empty-handed today. My family are over there in the distance. They are playing a board game. I will show you the other comic vendor as well. It's quite a smaller event than I expected. The other guest that is here from the Lost TV show is young boy Michael, who's now about 30. He played, sorry, is the young boy Walt. He played Michael's son in the Lost show. But I met Evangelina Lilly, lovely lady. Yeah, shook her hand. We had a nice photo, which I will share on a video. Here's another store. This is finally comics, toys and collectibles. And again, I've been through every one of these boxes. There you can see Red Robin, £45. Yeah. I've also had a look. They had wrestling here earlier, but I've also had a look through some Star Wars vintage Kenners figures, which was nice. But you know, value for money, not for me today. I think it was 35 quid per ticket, and comic vendors are getting less and less at these events. And I understand, you know, it's a bit for everybody, isn't it? My daughter brought some Pokemon folders down. She's got some very expensive cards hoping to trade, but you know, the deals just weren't there. Asking too much again. I think it's just the case that the tables are very expensive now. But I wish all the sellers luck. I hope they do have a good day. But sadly, not for me. So that's a little tour of the West Midlands Comic Con. There's some pretty neat props, decent cosplay as always. But I'm going to cut the video short there, guys. And that was the kind of queue I was in to meet Evangelina Lilly. Over the back there. Thanks. Bye for now.